The election is in full swing right now, and it's pretty much your usual campaign. Candidates offering policy proposals, trading barbs, and occasionally getting convicted of 34 felonies and complaining about the judge. Trump definitely doesn't know what the word literally means, but given his inability to talk about the Bible, it is possible that he doesn't know what crucified means either. Though I could be wrong, maybe Jesus got nailed to planks because of his hush payments to a porn star. I don't know. He is currently slightly ahead of Biden in the polls, so there is a pretty good chance he could be back in the White House next year. And given that, it's worth talking about what he plans to do if he gets there, because Trump does have a second-term platform.
Trump's kryptonite isn't kryptonite at all. It's the word sad. John Oliver just proved it by using Trump's favorite insult against him, and the results are pure comedy gold. Imagine being so thin-skinned that one word from a late-night host sends you into a spiral. Trump's meltdown is like watching a toddler throw a tantrum, but with worse spelling and more capital letters. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. John Oliver, the British comedian with a knack for serving up political roasts hotter than a McDonald's apple pie, decided to take a different approach when tackling the orange turd himself, Donald Trump. Instead of going on a long-winded rant about Trump's latest shenanigans, Oliver opted for a minimalist approach that would make Marie Kondo proud. Who knew that sometimes less really is more? Picture this, Oliver on his show Last Week Tonight. The tension building as he prepares to deliver his critique of the former president. The audience is on the edge of their seats, expecting a signature Oliver takedown. But instead of unleashing a barrage of witty insults, Oliver takes a dramatic pause and then...
Project 2025, which I know sounds like a sexy CW sci-fi drama, starring Ashanti, Chad Michael Murray and Turtle from Entourage, but incredibly, it's even worse than that.
The 2025 Presidential Transition Project
brings together conservative organizations
to ensure the policy and personnel are in place
on January 20th, 2025.
Project 2025 aims to do for Trump's whole presidency what the Federalist Society did for his judicial picks, give him a step-by-step game plan that he simply has to execute and then take credit for.
Bam! He drops just one word, sad. Now, you might be thinking, what's the big deal? It's just a word, but oh boy, is it more than that. You see, sad isn't just any old word when it comes to Trump. It's his go-to insult, his Twitter weapon of choice. Trump's been slapping sad onto the end of his tweets like it's ketchup on a well-done steak. Fake news sad. Hillary's email sad. You name it. He's probably called it sad. So when Oliver used Trump's favorite word against him, it was like watching David take down Goliath with his own slingshot. It was a linguistic jujitsu move that left Trump more twisted than his logic on climate change. Oliver didn't just criticize Trump, he held up a mirror to the former president's own absurdity. But why was this one-word roast so effective? Well, it's all about turning the tables. By using sad against Trump, Oliver highlighted just how ridiculous it is for a grown man, let alone a former president, to be so rattled by a single word. It's like watching a toddler throw a tantrum because someone said his tower of blocks wasn't the bigliest.
Let's try and answer a few basic questions. First, what is Donald Trump's foreign policy? Because it seems to be little more than repeating a single phrase.
America first. America first.
The only president who combines the sordid extramarital affairs of a young JFK with the dead-eyed puffiness of a post-Watergate Richard Nixon. Wow. You know, it says something about the Trump era that the phrase, "the same worms will eat him too," actually qualifies as a hopeful thought.
The genius of Oliver's move lies in its simplicity. That dramatic pause before he uttered sad was like the moment before a comedian delivers a punchline. It built anticipation, making the payoff even sweeter. In a world where political commentary often involves long-winded explanations and heated debates, Oliver proved that sometimes all you need is one well-placed jab to make your point.
More than 100 conservative organizations have come together to work on this, and they're all there. You've got the Heritage Foundation, Liberty University, the NRA, Turning Point USA, Rodeo Clowns for Trump. They've even produced a 900-page handbook on their goals, which are sweeping. It proposes dismantling NOAA, the agency that tracks hurricanes and protects marine life, because it's, quote, one of the main drivers of the climate change alarm industry. States that pornography should be outlawed and the people who produce and distribute it should be imprisoned. And these proposals are extreme because The people who wrote them are extreme.
Well, folks, it looks like our favorite orange-tinted Twitter addict couldn't resist firing back with a barrage of caps lock tantrums. Turns out, Trump's ego is about as fragile as his hairdo in a windstorm. What followed was a Twitter meltdown so epic it makes Kofef look like Shakespeare. Picture this. It's 3 a.m. and Donnie Diapers is perched on his golden throne, smartphone in hand, thumbs poised for battle. He stumbles upon Oliver's comment and boom, the dam breaks. Suddenly, Twitter becomes Trump's personal playground for a game of I'm rubber, you're glue. Our grumpy Trumpy fires off a series of tweets that would make a drunk teenager blush. He brilliantly dubs John Oliver as John Loser, because apparently the art of the insult is lost on him. But wait, there's more. He calls Oliver a failed British nobody, pot, meat, kettle, orange kettle. But the real kicker? Trump's tweets are riddled with more spelling mistakes than a first grade spelling bee. And don't forget the all caps, because nothing says I'm totally not mad like screaming into the void of the internet. In his desperate attempt to prove he's not sad, Trump goes on a rampage, calling everyone and their mother sad. It's like watching a toddler learn a new word and use it for everything. Sad cereal, sad spoon, sad milk.
That is focusing on his relationship with the world. Because while we were away, you may remember one particular remark he made.
According to the US president, Africa is a shithole.
He absolutely said that, except, to be fair to him, it's actually worse, because he reportedly called Africa, Haiti, and El Salvador shitholes, which is just not okay. And I personally have called Belgium a shithole multiple times, but in my defense, A, I'm not president, and B, Belgium is a loathsome chocolate gulag with no objective reason to exist.
But the cherry on top of this Twitter sundae, Trump dedicates a whole 45 minutes during a press conference to discuss John Oliver. That's right, folks. A former president of the United States spent nearly an hour talking about a late-night comedian. It's like he's auditioning for a roast battle instead of running for office. Political commentators had a field day with this one. They pointed out how Trump's reaction reveals more about his insecurities than any of his speeches ever could. It's like he's giving us a free therapy session, showing us all his emotional weak spots. Who knew sad was the magic word to make Trump unravel faster than a cheap suit? The irony here is thicker than Trump's spray tan. This is a guy who throws sad around like confetti at a pity party, but the moment it's turned back on him, he crumbles faster than his failed casinos. It's almost, dare we say it, sad. Well, folks, it looks like our favorite orange turd has a glass ego that's thinner than his hair. When John Oliver hit him with that tiny sad grenade, Trump's fragile self-esteem crumbled faster than a sandcastle in a hurricane. Experts say it's classic narcissism. Donnie Diapers is always on the hunt for admiration, and when he doesn't get it, he goes into full meltdown mode. But here's the kicker. Oliver's one-word takedown packed more punch than Trump's entire Twitter tirade. It's like watching a heavyweight boxer get knocked out by a feather. Maybe next time Grumpy Trumpy feels down, he should remember that at least he's not losing his marbles over 3 measly letters. So what have we learned? Sometimes less really is more, especially when it comes to roasting a certain thin-skinned president. Who knew sad could be such a powerful word? Well, apparently everyone except Trump.